Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Y'all, if my mic cuts out, just let me know. I'm gonna have to get a new mic. Okay, I'm definitely gonna have to get a new mic because my mic's standing on its last leg. But y'all, been behind on like reality TV stuff. I've really been knee deep in the gyp shit. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, I've been knee deep in the gypstein files. Is that what you call them? The gypstein, the gypstein, the gypstein, the gyps. Anyways, I've been all over the Gypsy Rose Blanchard stuff that I got behind on, Sister Wives, and we was watching it over on TikTok, but got behind because the FOIA files came out about Gypsy Rose Blanchard. But I have gotten to watch some of Sister Wives. I wanted to go live on TikTok and watch it with you guys. However, now that TikTok has been bought out by America, I don't know about the rules. Okay. I'm a little worried. TikTok's been crazy lately and a lot of people's been getting banned. So I'm kind of nervous. So I've been waiting to see if other creators were going to go live first and see what happens at the end to see, anyways. But I did watch night before last as I was in the shower. I was watching the sit down with Sookie. And one thing that Meri revealed, and I've always wondered about this, is how does Meri feel? How did she feel, welcoming Janelle into the family? And one thing that they've always kind of led us to believe is that she was like fine with it. Is that she was fine with it. That she welcomed Janelle. I mean, it's always been said that Meri was really difficult when Janelle came into the family after Janelle and Kody got married, that Meri was really territorial over things. She was really jealous, but never have they told us that Meri wasn't okay with Janelle coming into the family until the tell-all, you guys. The tell-all. I've always wondered, dude, that was her sister-in-law. Janelle was married to Meri's brother. She was married to Meri's brother. That's how she knew Janelle. That's how she knew Kody, because she was married into Meri's family. That's how she saw Kody for the first time, was because she was at Meri's house, with her hubby, or maybe at her boyfriend. I don't know if they were boyfriend or girlfriend at the time, but the first time she saw Kody, she was clearly with Meri's brother, and I potentially married, dating, whatever. And she saw Kody. And apparently, even then, she had this feeling of like, oh, like I know you, like there was a spark there. She said, and she told Meri that later on. Anyways, I thought that was really interesting because I've always wondered how she felt. I've always wondered, this woman was married to your brother, so surely there was some kind of feelings there, but they never led us to believe that, right? They never led us to believe that Meri had any issue. So really quickly, over the years, they have talked about Meri being difficult to deal with. Over the years, in their book, okay, bring it back to their book, Becoming Sister Wives, and we're gonna watch a clip from the tell-all in a minute where Meri says that she had a problem with it, that she tried to tell Kody, but Kody basically shut her down. But in their book, Becoming Sister Wives, Janelle described joining their family as tense, awkward, and she says it was poorly structured. She and Kody, they married only a few years after Meri and Kody got married. There were no rules for plural marriage yet, at least not in their unit, because they were so new to this. Janelle said going into this marriage, she expected the marriage to be more logical and cooperative, but instead, she said she walked into a household where Meri had already established control. Meri was the first wife. The main wife, I guess you could say. But a few quotes from the books, and this is paraphrased. Janelle says that Meri was very territorial in earlier years. There was a lot of friction between Meri and Janelle. She said that they didn't know how to communicate. Both Kody and Janelle acknowledged in the book that Meri had, de facto authority in the home because she was the first wife. She was the first wife, the main wife, whatever. She and Kody had been married longer, even though it wasn't like too much longer. They had been married longer. The house was largely run according to Meri's standards. Kody was out of the house working. So he's gone, leaving his new wife, there with his first wife. And Janelle described it at times as being horrible, being, horrible to deal with. She says Meri was strict, emotionally reactive, and controlling. She says she was controlling about things like how the kitchen was used, how things were organized, how the towels were folded, who had access to shared spaces. Some of the things that Janelle said in the book was Meri liked things done her way. I felt like I was constantly stepping on landmines. It created resentment early on. Janelle said Meri was mean early on. She said Meri could be harsh, especially when she was feeling insecure. She said Meri was abrasive at times. She could be very hard on me. Jealousy ruled over their relationship for the first few years of Janelle's marriage into the family. So what's so crazy, and Kody even says like he didn't, set any boundaries. He didn't speak up. He wanted the women to just handle it on their own. He felt like if he got involved and said anything, then one wife would feel like he was choosing sides. So he expected the wives to just kind of figure it out. And it really led to Janelle kind of living in a hellhole for a while. And Meri's always kind of attributed that to all these years to just like her having jealousy, like, oh, it was, I was jealous. I had some jealousy issues. She was the first wife, so I was jealous. But now we're finding out that some of those issues didn't even come from Meri being jealous, which I'm sure some did, but some come from the fact that Janelle was her sister-in-law. And this was on this past week's episode of Sister Wives, the tell all. So we're going to watch a clip of it together, okay? I've always wondered that. I've always wondered, like, how does she really feel, though? Let's see, why is it not showing up? Oh, because I'm doing it the wrong way. Sorry, guys. Hopefully, I'm going to show you guys the right thing. I think this is it.
I'm not just going to say people.
Okay. So this is on the tell all where she's talking about the issues early on.
I'm not just going to say people. I'm going to say Kody. Kody and Janelle fail to recognize that possibly some of the issues that I had in polygamy could have stemmed from the fact that, they wanted to get married on my birthday. They had planned to get married on my birthday.
Oh, and that was another one. Sorry. I recorded this video like 2 days ago. That was another one. Was they wanted to get married on her birthday. What, Janelle? No, you didn't, girl. On her birthday?
It wasn't until his mom got involved and was like, no, don't do that. Yeah, they're like, it doesn't matter. We'll just celebrate it a different day. Like, excuse me, it does matter. So let's start the marriage relationship, the family relationship with that. And they forget that, there might have been some emotions involved with the fact that she used to be married to my brother.
I always wondered that. So tell me, what kind of emotions were involved with that?
There's a lot of emotion.
She said there's a lot of emotion. I wonder how Meri's brother felt about it. I wish, Meri's brother passed away. He died, I think 2 or 3 years ago. He passed away. Okay, in this picture right here, this is a picture of Janelle at Meri and Kody's wedding. And Janelle is standing right behind Kody, and that little red thing, the little, where it says Janelle and Meri. What you can't see is someone has their arms around Janelle's waist, and that is her husband who's back there. And he's cut off from the picture. I wish I had the full picture, but this is literally Meri and Kody's wedding. Janelle was already married to Meri's brother. He is standing behind her, holding her in the picture. And however, Janelle's already had this vision of Kody already. Janelle already had this feeling that Kody was the one, even though she was married to Meri's brother. So this is so wild. We've talked about it before. I know that, but I wish before Meri's brother passed, I would have loved to hear his thoughts on it. When he found out that Kody was considering, bringing his ex-wife into the family. That now his sister is going to be sister wives with his ex-wife. Also, it's really weird in the term of like children. You know, Janelle and Kody had children, and Meri was like mom to them. Meri was like mom. That's the way, you know, in these polygamous families, that's kind of the way that it works. They're another mom, they're another mother figure, you know. So Meri is like, you know, helping raise Janelle's kids. And Meri's mom was grandma to all the kids. So was he uncle to his ex-wife's kids now? You know, did they call him uncle? Even though it was, can you imagine being Janelle's kid? Can you imagine being one of her kids? And you go to, you know, grandma's house on Meri's side, and there's Uncle Adam. I think that was his name. I think his name was Adam. You know, but you know, like that's who mom used to be married to. What a weird situation. What a very weird situation. But let's continue listening.
She has said that when she met Kody, she had these feelings of, oh my goodness, I knew him. It's like I met this person that I just, you know, it's like he was part of me. I don't remember exactly her words. I don't want to put words into her mouth. It was just this very intense thing. And I remember her saying that when she saw him, she wanted her sons to have his build. Kody's got a nice build, right? And she wanted that. And I'm just like, you don't think that those things might be a little bit troublesome to the wife that you used to be the sister-in-law of? You know what I mean? So my point in saying that is not to throw him or her under the bus. It's just to say these are facts. I had emotions, and I was the one who was in trouble for having these emotions. Now, I was probably in trouble more for how I reacted, because you know what? Sometimes I would cry, and sometimes I would like, come on, Kody, I need some more attention.
Okay, so I can understand. So basically, sorry, I had to do some edits. Hopefully it'll qualify for, hopefully they're not going to get me for copyright. I'm sure they will, and I have to file an appeal, but I was hoping that with the edits it would throw off, you know, the copyright butts. But that's so weird. And now, like Meri said, she probably, you know, was getting in trouble also because of the way that she handled her emotions. Sorry, guys. The way that she handled her emotions. But this is what she's telling us. She literally, why is that not okay? She literally, when this become an idea, when Janelle came to them and said, I feel like I'm supposed to be in your family, she tried to voice to Kody, I'm not comfortable with this. She was married to my brother. That I'm not comfortable. And Kody literally said, no, like you cannot shut this out. We've got to pray on this. We've got to fast. We've got to see what God tells us, because it doesn't matter how you feel. You know, we got to see if God is leading us to allow her into our family. And that's what they did. But she was shut down from telling Kody that she did not want to do this, that she did not feel comfortable allowing her former sister-in-law in. And like, who said that in the chat a while ago? Tiffany said, can you imagine your husband being with someone your brother was with, then you being with him? I mean, sexually. Imagine that your husband comes home and last night he was at Meri's house, and maybe he did the dip. You know what I'm saying? He did the dip, and then he comes to your house, and okay, yeah, he took a shower, but then he's doing the dip on you. And it's like he was just dipping in Meri's pond. Also, your brother dipped. I mean, not, oh no, he was just dipping in Janelle's pond last night, which your brother is also dipped in Janelle's pond. And now you're about to let him dip in your pond while maybe it's clean and it's washed up. Still, that's weird, because there's something. Where's my husband at? I bet he's not in the chat. There's something that happens when you sleep. What's it called? Oh, what's it called? Let me look it up because it's going to bother me. I gotta think of what it is. Because it's really weird when you think of, okay, no, that's not what it is. What is it? I know bonding is, it's perma bonding, maybe? Is it perma bonding? Anybody know what I'm talking about? Sorry. I don't remember what it is. And it might be something more on the religious side of it that like you kind of leave a part of yourself. You know how that saying goes that like um when you sleep with someone, you've then slept with everybody they've slept with. So when Meri sleeps with Kody, she's then sleeping with everybody he slept with, which would be Janelle, and then Janelle slept with Adam, and then, oh my god, that's just weird. But Meri was shut down from saying how she felt about it. And like Meri said, she probably got more in trouble for how she reacted. But if she was shut down and told she and Sookie was like, well, why didn't you speak up? Why didn't you say something? She's like, I did. I did speak up. I tried to say something, but I was told I couldn't. Like I was told that I cannot step in and stop this, that we have to see what God's gonna say. Thank you so much, Miss Ruth. Thank you so much. I do appreciate that so much. Thank you. Um, yeah, like you pass hormones back and forth. It might be like perma bonding or pair bonding. Maybe that's what he was talking about. But girl, I'm gonna be late to the game, and I know we're talking about. But Elle, have you seen Tyler and Kate's picture? What do you mean? What picture? Patriot girl. Soul ties as well. Yes. What picture are you talking about? Okay, and Ty. So I don't know. Listen, as someone that is a Christian, I feel like when we really want something, I feel like as a Christian, when we really want something, what do? We pray about it. But if it's something we really want, we really have to put our wants outside of it and really try to listen to what God's telling us. So I feel like Kody, like, did he marry Janelle because God was telling him to, or because that's what he wanted and that's what he thought God was telling him? You know what I'm saying? She posted a picture of, wait, she posted a pic in a video. Oh, I did see that. Yes, I saw it. I saw that. That was crazy. Lorena Bobbitt. If I was married to him, I would have told him Lorena Bobbitt prayed on what she did too. Remember that, Kody? Okay. Okay. Like if you want it, you want to keep it. But yeah, I was like, and listen, I like Janelle. I am a fan of Janelle. But finding out that Janelle wanted to marry Kody on Meri's birthday, like what? As a woman, we know no. You're coming into a polygamous family where he already has a wife. And yes, this is the culture that you live. This is, religiously you guys believe that this is how you're supposed to live. But a birthday or an anniversary are the two dates you stay away from when you're going to marry another woman's husband. You don't offer. So Janelle, I'm a little disappointed in Janelle. Also, this backdoor deal that Kody was talking about with Janelle, and I don't know. Like, I think everybody has moments where they can be a little. Oh, I do think Janelle was really worried that they were going to lose that offer, and I do think Janelle was potentially. Listen, when I was watching that clip, and I thought about doing like a breakdown on her body language, but speaking just in regards to her body language and the way that she was responding, Janelle was, I think she made, listen, I'm not a Kody fan, had surgery. Like, oh, how are you doing? How are you doing since your surgery? But watching the tell all, hearing that they were going to get married on her birthday, I'm like, Janelle, what are you doing? Um, and then really thinking about, Janelle was married to her brother. And Janelle telling her later, yeah, the first time I saw Kody, like I had this moment where I felt like I knew him already. And it was kind of like I knew he was the one and saying things like, I want my kids to have his build. I could see how while they wanted polygamy, she hadn't done it yet. Kody hadn't dated anybody yet. This was the first, so I could see how that could be difficult for Meri. And then they want to get married on her birthday. Girl, no, I probably would have had some feelings too. I ain't even gonna lie. But like Meri said, it was the way that she handled it. But she couldn't really talk to Kody because Kody said he didn't allow the women to come to him and talk about their issues with the other wife. It was like, no, you sort that out with her. I don't want to hear about it. So both of these women dealing with issues were just kind of left out in the cold by themselves to figure out. You got Janelle over here who Meri probably hated her for a minute. She is trying to now live with Meri, who seemingly hates her. She can't go to her husband for support or to find out what to do because her husband is like, that ain't got nothing to do with me. And then you got Meri over here who had to accept that her husband married her brother's ex-wife, despite the fact that she wasn't feeling it. Have to accept that they wanted to get married on her birthday. Have to accept that while, yes, you agreed to live this way, now there's another woman in your man's life. I imagine it was really difficult. I'm surprised they even made it, to be quite honest. I'm surprised they even made it. I wonder if they marry a lot of women because it gives them rights to be with other and others. It's like permanent call passes. The culture was made up by men who wanted more than one woman. I definitely think I haven't seen one polygamist who I really thought is living polygamy because he genuinely feels like, biblically speaking, it's the correct way to live. On all these shows that we watch, not one have I watched and I thought, you know what, I really think he believes that. All the ones that I've ever watched that has used the Bible as their excuse, they've all given me the ick. They've all seemed like they were just in it for the sex, to be quite honest. So yes, they're a way of cheating and getting away with it and it being okay. But yeah, you guys, that was one of the things I remember when I first found out because I somehow missed the fact that Janelle was married to Meri's brother. I missed that early on. And I didn't find out till maybe 3 years ago. I don't remember, but when I did find out, I did a video on that. I was like, "Oh my god." And people's like, "Oh my god, Elle, you didn't know that?" And I'm like, "No, how did I miss that?" But I didn't know initially, even though I've watched Sister Wives from the beginning. I somehow missed that, right? Which I didn't read the book. I didn't read their book. I've only read excerpts from it. So, but I remember finding out and being like, "What?" I always wondered how did Meri was okay with that, but they always painted the picture that she was that wasn't an issue that the Janelle was her former sister-in-law. But now, I mean, she just let us know on the tell-all. She's like, "Listen, I wasn't the best sister wife in the beginning, but there were issues there. For one, her being my sister-in-law. For one, the fact that she was married to my brother, that was an issue." And Sookie's like, "Well, why didn't you take it up with Kody?" She's like, "I tried, but he told me not to. He told me I needed to be quiet. He told me I wasn't allowed to have those thoughts or those feelings." And that was something that Christine said too. That you're told to what was it? You're told to take it into the end, withstand into the end. So that's pretty wild. Meri's bigger issues wasn't even so much that Kody was marrying another woman. It was the fact that the woman that he married had been married to her brother. And then going in, she had no say so. It's like, what do you do? Right, Janie? Yeah, if you're gonna live polygamy, maybe don't marry any of them. Or what's no, I was gonna say, there's one family where the wives marry. Keep sweet. There's one. Oh, thank you. There's one where the wives marry, that way nobody's like ahead of the other one. I tell you what, if me and Sean decided to live polygamous, which we never would, and he wanted to like marry my brother's ex, I'd be like, no, that's weird. That's insanity. So not at all. But anyways, you guys, I thought that was interesting. I think I don't know if I've even watched the rest of the tell all. Isn't there like one more part to it? I really want to figure out if we can go back to watching shows on TikTok, and if we can, maybe watch all parts of the tell all together. Sister Wives. Let's see. How many parts of the tell all is there? Okay, there's 4 parts. So we are on the 4th part hasn't aired yet. So all right. So we got one more this Sunday. What's this day? What is this Sunday? That is the 1st. Okay. So I'm gonna try to figure out if we can live stream TV shows again on TikTok. That way we can live stream the tell-alls and we can watch them together. Because I'm telling y'all, I don't like Kody. And he gives me the ick a lot too. But what he's saying in regards to this backdoor deal, I don't know what the truth is. But Janelle, you guys tell me if y'all are seeing it too. One thing that I've realized in body language is, sometimes when we watch something and people just seem guilty, we can all see it. We're like, oh, they just seem guilty. What's because their body language, it looks off like drastically, like so much so that even people that can't read body language or the way that they're speaking about things, like Amber Heard, okay? We can all watch her on the stand or watch her in an interview and be like, yeah, she's guilty because it was just so obvious the way that her body language didn't make sense, the way that she spoke about things didn't make sense. So when I was watching Janelle talk about that, I was like, oh, she just seems guilty about this. And I like Janelle, I do. But did anybody else get that feeling just off cuff? Like hearing Janelle talk about the backdoor deal in regards to the property and selling it out from under Meri. Did anybody else get the feeling that like maybe she had more to do with it than she's trying to let on? Or did you guys believe that Kody was trying to throw it all off on her? Because I got the feeling she wasn't being completely honest about it. And maybe and I'm not saying that she came up with the idea because I don't know, but I am saying that I felt like she was okay with it. And if it would have happened, she would have been like, okay, that's fine. But yeah, that's what I think too. I think it was a combination of both. What is the US? Yeah, I really, yeah, I don't think, like, I think more than likely what I think happened is they were on the phone, scared they were going to lose the buyer, and somebody made the comment, well, you could just sell it. Whether it was Janelle or Kody, I don't know. But I do think, hey, Nikki, I do think it was then that she was like, well, yeah, you could. You could sell it. Janelle was very concerned about losing the buyer. And she wanted her money for it. She wanted to get her money. She was, she wanted to put everything to rest. She had her stuff that she was trying to get figured out in North Carolina. And I'll have to watch the clip again, but there were things that just threw me off where I was like, whoa, Janelle, you look kind of guilty right now, Hey, Harley. But anyways, you guys, that's that. That has answered a question I have had many times throughout the years is I really wonder how Meri felt about Janelle marrying into the family with Janelle being her former sister-in-law. I really wish Meri's brother would have I don't know. I really wish he would have done an episode on the show where he talked about, yeah, it's the real estate agent coming. I mean, it's the person that the spark. she was the one that like dealt with their business and knew how to move when it come to like finances. So she knew, hey, listen, that's the thing is like, it was a lot of property. It was worth a lot. And, not a lot of people need that much property or can afford that much property. So when you have somebody that's like, yeah, we want to buy it. If you skip out on that, you might be waiting another 6 months to a year. So Janelle knew, like, dude, we really we don't need to lose out on this. So, oh, Marsha, you've been a member for 3 months. Shout out to Marsha. Thank you so much. I do appreciate that so, so much. But anyways, you guys, I'm going to continue watching the tell-all. As soon as I can find out if we can stream again, I'll let you guys know and we'll stream. Also, let me see. I am going to be. That's Monday. Oh, that's Groundhog Day. So yeah, I'm probably going to go live from sister-in-law to sister wife. Sorry. I know, right? I'm probably going to go live on TikTok here in a little bit to talk about some Gypsy Rose Blanchard stuff. So yeah, just make sure you're following me over there. If you don't, I will be uploading it over here. So yeah, make sure you hit that follow button here, subscribe to the channel, leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. What would you guys think if your husband wanted to marry your former sister-in-law on your birthday, no less? Do we now understand why Meri was so upset and she couldn't voice the fact that she didn't agree with it? So make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button. Leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. Come back and hype me up if you guys remember to. Also, like I said, I'm going to go live maybe in like 15, 20 minutes over on TikTok to talk about some Gypsy Rose Blanchard stuff. So make sure you're following me over there. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.